Hey everybody, it's Ian the Off Kilter Crafter. I hope you're having a great day today. Today I'm going to be doing an unboxing and comparison video between the brand new Tim Holtz stamp platform and the MISTI stamping tool, which is kind of built into the name, so I don't know why I'm repeating that. MISTI stands for Most Incredible Stamping Tool Invented, and we're going to see if it passes the test up against the new Tonic Studios stamping platform from Tim Holtz. Alright, let's go ahead and unbox the brand new stamp platform from Tim Holtz and Tonic Studios. I'm very excited for this and cannot wait to break into this, so why don't we just do that now? Here it is. Alright. Now, it's a little bit smaller than what I envisioned in my head, but honestly, I like this size a lot. Let's get the MISTI out and compare the MISTI size to the new Tonic Tim Holtz stamp platform. They are similar in size. The MISTI, this is the standard size MISTI tool. This is the middle of the range, I guess. There's a smaller one and then there's a larger one. This is the middle size. It is a little bit smaller of an area to work with than the brand new Tim Holtz one. There's just a little bit more area to work with. Has two very strong magnets. Just remember not to touch these two magnets together, and especially if your finger is inside of it, that would be really, really bad. Now, another advantage to the Tim Holtz stamp platform is you don't have an edge on two sides. So if you wanted to work on a 12 by 12 piece of paper or a larger size, you can do so quite easily. You can also, a lot of times I'm working on a card and will hang the card off the side of the MISTI, and even though it doesn't mess it up, it makes it a little more difficult to work with as it has this lip on the MISTI that you have to deal with. Up here in the corner it says rubber, and then on the other side it says clear, so depending on which type of stamp you're going to be using will be how you use the stamp platform. So rubber is going to be this side if you have cling stamps that have the rubber attached, and the clear side will be the side you use when you're using your clear cling stamps. Alright, enough talk, let's get an example going. Alright, I've placed my paper into the corner of the Tim Holtz stamp platform. I'm using the rubber side, and I've placed my stamp where I want it. Remember guys, this is going to be the side that you use if you have a rubber cling stamp. Put that right there. Lower the lid, push it on, and you're good to go. The little stamp is up here at the top, so I'm going to ink it up. Make sure it's nice. Stamp it down. That looks like it worked pretty well. I forgot to put my magnets on, but honestly, at this moment, I don't really need them, but I'll go ahead and place them there just in case. Didn't get a perfect image, so I am going to restamp it. Boom, done. Looks really good too. Pretty happy with that. Let me clean off my stamp. Alright, so now I'm going to be using a clear cling stamp, and I want to change from the rubber cling stamp over to the clear side. What you're going to do is lift your lid up to about 90 degrees and pull straight up. That was actually really easy. I thought I was going to have to use some force to make that happen, but I did not need any force at all. You drop it right back into that slot at a 90 degree, and there you go. Wow, that was easy. That was really, really easy. Alright, so let's stamp this. Almost perfect. Gonna go back over it one more time just to make sure I get a really dark image. That's done. That was very easy. As you can see here with my sample, both stamped perfectly. Nice dark lines. You can go over them multiple times with the stamp platform, and really easy to pull this out and flip it over. The grid lines are on the side that you use. They're on the outside when you use the clear side, and they're on the inside whenever you're using the rubber side. I don't see anything wrong with that. I think that's going to work out nicely. I should mention, if you're concerned about getting ink into the grid lines, because these are a textured surface, if you're worried about that, I would not be too concerned. I did get a little bit of ink in these lines as I was testing it out, and it just took a simple baby wipe to clean it up, so that's really a non-issue. On the back here, we have a rubberized pad to ensure that your stamp platform is not going to be shifting all over the tabletop as you're using it, which seems to hold really sturdy. Another great thing about the Tim Holtz stamp platform is this grip. It's not really a grip, but it's an overhang. This allows me to grab it a lot more easily. On my MISTI, it's a little harder to grab the edges because they're all about the same length, so you can pretty easily grab it. It's not a big deal, but I've seen several people put washi tape, little washi tape tag onto the edge so that way it's a little easier to open, and I do like the fact that this is way easier to grab, especially whenever you're flipped over onto the rubber side. It actually lines up outside of where the plastic base is, so it makes it really easy to open and close. I kind of wish that the clear side would have had the tab on this side, because I tend to use the clear stamps a little bit more, but that's a very small complaint, and it's not even really a complaint at all. Now let's do a little bit of comparison here. I can place, this is a 12 by 12 piece of We Are Memory Keepers paper, and I can fit almost the entire sheet into it. There is some hangover, but I'm noticing that it's going to be really great for being able to stamp all the way in the center and all around your piece of paper, because no matter where you are on this piece of paper, you can find a corner to put up in the what do you call that, the apex, or the corner that lines everything up. You will find a way to reach every inch of this paper, which is really awesome and a great use of space. Also, the guides that are on the lid don't interfere with the paper. Whenever you push down on them, they're not going to leave marks, they're not going to bend your paper, it's not going to affect the paper that I can tell using it in this fashion. And just to prove a point, I've turned it over to the rubber side, and same thing. It's really a great use of space. So let's compare that over on the MISTI. I'm going to take this piece of paper out and we'll try it and see what happens when we try to stamp on the entire piece of paper in the middle-sized MISTI. Alright, if I wanted to stamp somewhere in the middle, or it's a little bit harder because if I do this, it's going to bend the paper over. So I would have to figure out how to line the paper up. I guess it would be this way, yeah. You'd have to stamp over, if you wanted to do a corner here, you'd have to do it like that. Let me put the magnets down. Your paper hangs over the edges here. It does close all the way, so I don't have to worry about hurting my paper, but it takes a little more thought and process putting this together. Now that's for using clear cling stamps. If I want to use the rubbered cling stamps, I'm going to take that out. I'm going to put my piece of paper back in and put my magnets on, and it's made it a little bit further down now. Actually, I'm getting it a little wrinkly as I'm trying to position it. Alright, I think that might work. Okay, ooh. I don't know if you can see this on camera, but there's actually some wrinkles forming here. Maybe it's because I put the magnets down incorrectly. No, I'm still getting some wrinkles happening. I feel like you could stamp on a 12 by 12 piece of paper in the middle-sized MISTI. However, I'm a little concerned about, especially if you're using the rubber stamps, the rubber cling stamps, that they would end up smearing a little bit because my paper is just a hair wrinkled or bubbled here. Now again, you're not going to get any lines around the edges from what I can tell, but your stamp might not come out as crisp as you would like it to. Another comparison point between the stamp platform and the MISTI. This is the first generation MISTI, which has the screen printed grids on it. It came with a vinyl protective sheet, but you had to put that on, which, as we know, I don't do things very well like that. I can't straighten it up and get it nice and perfect, so I didn't like that I had to put that on. However, in Generation 2, they did switch to the acrylic etched lines, so you didn't have to put on your own cover. Over on the stamp platform, the lines are already embedded into the acrylic or plastic or whatever they use for this material, which, by the way, is really... This has some heft behind it, and it's not going to break really easily. You're going to have to work to break it. Now, I definitely don't condone dropping this on the ground or throwing it onto a shelf or standing on it. I definitely think it would break if you did that, but I feel it's a little more sturdy than the make of the MISTI. Sometimes when using the MISTI, I'm almost afraid to put pressure in certain points because I feel like this acrylic piece at the top is going to buckle in. I don't feel that way with this stamp platform. In fact, I feel like I could put a lot of pressure on it. The last point of comparison between the two is price, and the MISTI in this size, which is the medium size, it runs currently on Simon Says Stamp at $79.99. The stamp platform from Tim Holtz, currently on Simon Says Stamp, is retailed at $39.99. That is a huge price difference, and between the two, I feel like the Tonic Studios Tim Holtz stamp platform is a better value and deal. With this one, you can reach more of the paper without having to struggle or kind of calculate it out, and I feel like it's more sturdy as well. If you currently own the MISTI and want to make the transition over to the stamp platform like I have, I found out your magnets do work in the new stamp platform just like they did in the MISTI. So when making the comparison between the two, I think the choice is pretty easy. I'm going to be switching to the new Tonic Studios Tim Holtz stamp platform. I think it's a better value. It feels a little sturdier and a little more well put together. It is easy to use and overall gives you more working space than the MISTI ever did. If you're in the market to get a new stamping tool, I would go with the Tim Holtz stamp platform. I think it's the better deal. So let me know down in the comments below if you're going to stick with your MISTI tool or if you're going to make the switch to the Tim Holtz stamp platform. Alright guys, I think that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did and you're new to my channel, make sure to hit that button down below that says subscribe. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and get great updates every time I post a new video by clicking that bell icon. That'll let you know every time a new video is posted and or I go live. Also, if you liked today's video, give it a thumbs up. That lets YouTube know that you liked my video, and then we'll hopefully share it across YouTube land. You can also get social with me on my social media links. Those are all listed down in the description below. You can check those out, get social with me, have some conversations, and have some fun. I hope everybody has a great day, and remember guys, keep it off kilter. Bye!